Good morning, students. Hope you all are well. So, today we are going to discuss the internal factors and the adaptations in plants to reduce the excessive transpiration. In our previous classes, already you have discussed about the external factors. So, let's see what is the internal factor which will increase or decrease the rate of transpiration. So, it is the water content of water. Okay. So, if the water supply or the water content to the leaves is increased, then the transpiration will increase. But if the water content of the leaves will decrease due to what? Due to insufficient absorption of water by the roots, so then what will happen? The leaves will wilt, okay, and the transpiration is reduced. So this kind of reduction in transpiration is indirectly due to the closure of stomata, right? Because if the water content is less, then the stomata will not open, it will remain closed. Okay, so and it is the normal mechanism of conserving the water inside the plant or within the plant. So this is the internal factor. Next, in different plants there are different adaptations to conserve the water. Mainly those plants which are present in the dry climate or in dry desert area, they have evolved a variety of permanent adaptation to reduce the transpiration or to almost curtail the transpiration. So let's see what are those adaptations. First is the shrunken stomata. Okay, so stomata may be shrunken or covered by hair. We can see this kind of adaptation in Nerium. Okay, as you can see in the diagram, the structure of the stomata already you have seen, but here you can see the shrunken stomata. All the cells or stomatal cells become shrunken, so the transpiration will reduce. Next is fewer stomata. If the number of stomata will reduce, then also the transpiration will reduce. Okay, because the transpiration is occur directly from the stomata, right, and mainly from the stomata. Narrow leaves. So the leaves become narrow or reduce the surface area. We can say this kind of adaptation also in Nerium. Next is the reduced exposed surface. If the surface area of the leaves will reduce or the leaves become wavy or rolled or folded, so what will happen? It reduces the exposed surface area, and if there is the reduced exposed surface area, then obviously transpiration will reduce. Next, loss of leaves. In some cases, leaves may be dropped or may be absent or may be changed into the spines, as we can see in case of cactus. Next is the thick cuticle. If there is a cuticle layer in the upper and lower surface of the leaves, then how the transpiration will occur, right? So in case of banyan tree and in case of most evergreen trees, the transpiration will reduce due to the thick cuticle covering on the surface of the leaves. So as you can see, it is a modification of leaves into the spines in case of cactus. So the cactus, they have the shallow roots which absorb water from the lightest rainfalls, because in the dry desert rainfall is very less and they have to conserve the water. And this in the lower portion, the deep roots penetrate very low water table. The swollen stem, they also store water, and the stomata are shrunken in groups to avoid drying due to hot wind, and the leaves are reduced to the spines to reduce the surface area for transpiration. Okay, and this green stem, they carry the photosynthesis, that you know. Okay, next is what is the significance of transpiration? Okay, So there are different significance, and it has a great significance for the plants. First is the cooling effect. Okay, so evaporation, or this release of the water, this evaporation reduces temperature of the leaf surface. So therefore transpiration is useful to the plants in hot summer days, right, as it gives us cooling effect. Next is the suction force. So you know that transpiration helps in the ascent of sap, or to absorb this water by the roots, absorption of water by the roots. Okay, so transpiration helps in the ascent of sap by producing the suction force. From where? From the top part of the plant. So whenever the water will goes out through the stomata, or evaporation from the leaves concentrate the cell sap, right, and increases the osmotic pressure. Whenever the water will goes out, it increases the osmotic pressure, and this osmotic pressure draws the water from the cells at the lower level in a sequential manner, and finally favor the absorption of water from the soil by the roots. Okay, that means, as you can see in the diagram, this from the leaves, evaporation into the atmosphere from the leaf surface. So if the water will release, then there is loss of water, and then the cell sap will concentrate, and then it form the osmotic pressure, and this osmotic pressure create a suction force which help to absorb the water from the roots, and again it will distribute to different parts of the plant body. Okay, so this figure represent the transpiration stem. As the water evaporates from the leaves, a suction force is produced at the top of the plant, which draw more water up through the stem and making the roots absorb more water from the soil. Okay. Next is the distribution of water and mineral salts. So since the leaves are present at the tip of all branches and twig, so transpiration from their surfaces tend to draw the water towards them, and thus help in the distribution of water throughout the plant body. Okay, and high rate of transpiration, higher rate of transpiration, greater the rate of absorption of water and minerals from the soil. Okay, so is transpiration is an excretory process of plants? No, it is not appropriately related to the excretion process. Excretion, we know, it is a active process carried out by the organism to get rid of our unwanted and the metabolic waste product. But transpiration is not the such kind of waste product or the release of the metabolic waste product. So we cannot say that transpiration is the excretory process of plants. Okay, next is the effect of transpiration on climate. So it has been shown experimentally that plants give out large quantities of water during transpiration. Okay, so a full grown single sunflower plant, a full mature single sunflower plant is estimated to lose about a half liter of water per day in form of water vapor. So you can imagine. Okay, half liter of water for only one single sunflower plant. Okay, single maize plant loses about 2 liters of water per day, and a large apple tree or such kind of large trees, they lose about more than 30 liters of water per day. Okay, so these figures give an idea of the huge quantities of water that release into the atmosphere by the vast stretches of fields and the particularly in the forest. So thus transpiration increases the moisture in the atmosphere and in our environment, and it brings rain. So in this way transpiration from plants affect the climate. Okay, next is it is a difference between the evaporation and transpiration. Evaporation is the loss of water from the surface of water bodies in the form of water vapor. Transpiration is the loss of water in the form of vapor but from the aerial surface of the leaves or aerial surface of the plants. Evaporation is a physical change controlled by the temperature and the humidity of the atmosphere, and transpiration is a vital and partially a physical process, but it controlled by the internal and the external factors, okay, of environment and also of the plant. And evaporation is a first process, but transpiration is a slow process. Okay.